Well, we did it. We found a place for Max to play, and it had to be like the muddiest field possible. Good evening, good evening. And just continuing along on the journey. I'm actually in Tennessee now. And we're heading off. Thank you, Max. Max saying hi too. And as I was reading tonight, I actually found a spot over in Harvest House, and which is really cool because it is a church that is allowing me to stay here. And the neat part is, as I was reading, and well, at the first, when I first requested it, I didn't know if I'd actually be able to stay here because I'd sent a message. I said, hey, I was passing through town and wanted to know if I could still stay here. And I actually canceled my request to stay here because I thought I would just pass it up and I would have to find some other place. Turns out, actually, about 2-3 seconds afterwards, I actually got a message from them saying, oh, we're sorry, we thought someone else responded and you're more than welcome to stay, so please make another request. And so I ended up doing that, and it ended up being a huge blessing because they got this like really huge yard for Max to actually be able to play in. And so we were tossing the frisbee out, which he really loves because he hasn't had much time or ability to play or a big space to play in yet. So, which is cool. It's actually called Partnership Baptist Church, Partnership Christian Church, and it's in Maryville, Tennessee. And so, which is really neat because in Harvest Host, they just ask for a small donation, for each host. That way, it's just a way to say thank you. So it's not necessarily like a free site, don't think of it that way. A lot of times it's more so, please patron our business. We don't mind you, park your camper here, but please patron our business. And in this case, it's a church. And so I feel really blessed to be able to just even give them a small donation for that matter. And just the fact that, I can take Max outside and we can go throw the frisbee around, that just makes it all worth it instead of just some truck stop or a Walmart, something like that, just to be able to do that. So I really wanted to just give a shout out and say thank you to them for making their space available for not just myself, but other RVers as well. And that way we can come and have a safe space, to lay our heads at night. And as you can see, I'm in the camper and, be able to just travel with safety and ease, and just being in a safe spot. But I was reading in my Bible in Numbers, speaking of safe spots, and in the beginning of the book, the first 4 or 5 chapters, it was just showing how God was organizing the camp of Israelites and who was to do what jobs, who was to be part of the army, who was not to be part of the army, who was to be included in the census, who was not to be included in the census, and even going down to each tribe, and even breaking the tribe of Levi's down, who was not supposed to be in the regular census, but breaking the tribe of Levites down because each Levite, each Levite had a job to do within the tent of meeting, and as far as when they could go in or when they could, when the Israelites moved, when they can't move, they each had to participate. They had a job to do to move the tent of meeting, to move the tabernacle of testimony. Who was on the plates, who was grabbing the poles for the Ark and the Covenant, and who could touch what, and then also what the priest said to do in order for them. As a service, in order for the Levites to actually be able to move those things, what had to be done in preparation, so that when the Levites came in, they didn't perish. They didn't, just die instantly for, being uninvited, so to speak, or at an inopportune time. They weren't to look upon the things that were within the tent of meeting or the tabernacle. And so certain things had to be placed upon to cover those things, those items, and in many cases, not just one cloth, not just a blue cloth, but also a covering of sea cows. The skin, the leather skin of sea cows would have to be placed over them and whatnot. So that way they could be handled by the Levites, whose job it was to carry the tent of meeting and the tabernacle, who was to take it all down and to carry it from place to place as the camp moved. And not only that, but each family of the tribe of Levites had a specific area that they were supposed to encamp around the tent. That way, they were to be around the tent, and then the rest of the tribe, or I should say, all the rest of the tribes of Israel and their armies also had a place around the Levites, in the event that they were attacked. So that, and not only that, but each tribe had their own place, had their own position, had their own job to do that nobody else could do. It was not allowed. God said, nope. I said, this is their job, that's their job, that's their job, that's their job. And if somebody else tried to do someone else's job, then that person was, killed. that person's life ended. Just like Aaron's two sons, who used unauthorized fire as an offering to God, and they were no more. So each person, so it was important for each person that they actually had a job to do. And I was just thinking about that today. The eye cannot say to the foot, I don't need you. The foot can't say to the eye, I don't need you. The heart can't say to the hand, I don't need you. And each part of the body of Christ, each person, they have a job to do. They have a purpose, and when they don't do that job, then bad stuff happens. And I was just thinking about it. Trying to start a traveling minister. What is my job? What is it to do? What is it to be? And sometimes it's just, to me, it seems like, in this immediate sense, maybe it's just to be a good friend. And maybe that can speak volumes. So I just wanted to touch on that a bit, and started making me think about it. So I thought I'd share it. Have a blessed night, y'all.